Hello dreamers! Welcome back to A Dream in Japan, Spooky Edition. So today we're going to make a fall wreath. Or you can make it as themed as you want. This is going to be another Daiso DIY video, but if you're watching from any other country, this is a pretty simple to do dollar store wreath. Most dollar stores have tons of decorations, but we're gonna make something much more elegant using the fake flowers. You could do ones with just leaves and a pool noodle, which will not fit in the frame. So pool noodles are pretty strong, so just gluing them isn't really going to work. So you will need some duct tape or like a fabric-based, extremely sticky tape. So I'm going to use this. It is also from the dollar store, so I'm hoping and trusting that it will hold my pool noodle together. Otherwise, I will have to invest in some better tape. The only thing in this video that is not directly from the dollar store is, for my case, I will be using black spray paint.
And E6000 glue, which is a great craft glue, better than hot glue, which melts pool noodles.
However, you could also cover your pool noodle in, old black fabric, lace.
In researching this project, I found some great inspiration for ways to cover the pool noodle. As you can see, some people used like a tulle and tied it around the noodle. You can of course cover it completely with fake flowers or anything else that you can stab into the noodle or glue onto the noodle. You can wrap it in different kinds of twine. Then there's just general ribbon. We've also got burlap ribbon. And then this one is using kind of like a spider web and just going right over the actual pool noodle. But there's tons of more ideas, so just think about how you want to design your wreath before you get started.
I went out to my door and I measured how much smaller I want it to be. You can of course use the whole pool noodle, but this is quite a big wreath. In Japan, our doors are a little smaller than in Western countries. I used a pin and I just stuck a pin in here so that I know where I need to cut. And I'm just gonna use my handy dandy box cutter and cut this pool noodle. So it's probably a good idea to mark it so that it's straight, but I'm gonna be taping it together anyway, so I don't really care. It's gonna, hey, it connects. I'm now going to remove the pin so that I do not stab myself and extend the blade a little bit. Obviously, if you're doing this with children, you should probably help them. I'm not really showing this very well. There we go. So now from here, I watched somebody do this and it seemed rather difficult. So I'm going to use an assist to keep to keep my noodle together while I tape it, since I don't have anybody helping me. I broke apart an old hanger. It seemed strong enough to assist me, so I broke out a chunk of it. I'm sure you could use scrap metal, wood, something, and I'm just gonna hold it so that my noodle cannot open and it doesn't make it any heavier. Okay, let's see how this goes. I have no idea what I'm really doing, so I'm just gonna stick it on there and press this together and pray to the pool noodle gods that this is gonna work. Alright, so that's pretty good. It seems quite sturdy. It's not sticky. And it's a bit ovular. Not a word, but so I am gonna pull it a little bit and push it. Because it's a pool noodle, so let's be real. It can... These stab into this foam very nicely. And so I think it would be a pain in the butt to have to glue them all individually to the fabric. So in my case, I'm going to spray paint this stab everything into it, and then fill in the gaps with material strips if it's weird looking, and then I'll have something to kind of glue things. I will probably glue everything in, but like after I've stabbed it. Alright, so spray painting in the rain may affect things. It didn't stick to my tape super greatly, so I'm hoping that's gonna dry. I didn't really spray paint the backside because I don't really care, and I'd rather not have anything weird rub off on my door in the future, but it's looking okay. So though I do want this to hold up to the testaments of time, I have only allotted myself about 3 hours to complete this. So I'm going to make some of the other pieces kind of shoddily. I'm also gonna cut some fabric strips out of this leftover chunk to tie around some extra areas, maybe areas that are a little too propel for me. I'm gonna cut off a chunk. Does not matter if it's perfect, so I'm just cutting it. I am going to not straight, whatever. So I think I'm just gonna sew it into a tube, and then possibly fray the edges so that it gives kind of a disheveled effect. This is all I'm doing. I'm just cutting kind of close. Don't cut your fingers. This is gonna be the hook, making sure that my door hanging part is properly installed and not gonna slide around or look weird. Complication! I thought they were just tied together with this piece of twine, but no! They're actually put together with a steel band. I've tried every wire plier I have, and they are so strong. Good dollar quality. Sweet! Ah! Yes.
This was so hard separating these pieces. My hands are so pained! It took me 1 hour and 16 minutes, and I just finally got all of these stupid flowers apart. Plus 1 hour of construction time!
So now we get to do the fun part, which is organizing and planning out how you want your wreath to look. Then in my case, I'm going to do some stabby into my pool noodle. Then I'm gonna do some tying of string and adding some extra leaves around just to fill in the gaps. And for the ones that are loose, I'm gonna apply a little bit of E6000 glue around the edge and then stab them back in. This should hold them pretty well. You could also use hot glue, but you may actually risk making them looser because the pool noodle will melt. And voila! We have a finished Halloween wreath. I'm pretty excited about this. It held together really well, and even though I had a little bit of a time setback, I think it came out pretty awesome. Thanks for watching my video, dreamers. I hope you take this idea and apply it to any season. It doesn't matter what season's wreath, but the pool noodle idea worked pretty well. And show me pictures of the wreaths that you make using dollar store materials on Instagram at ADream in Japan. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. And keep dreaming, dreamers. Happy Halloween!